Hello. The second round match at the Snooker World Championships has finally concluded between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Ryan Day. It was up in the air actually as to whether we'd be treated to a session today, because it was looking like a real possibility after the beginning of the match. If Ronnie would, as expected, run away with it, and just, polish it off last night, but it was a lot closer than I personally expected. I think the pundits were making out like it was really comfortable for Ronnie and like he did just run away with it, but I think, as Ronnie kind of mentioned in his interview as well, I don't think it was as easy as that. I think it was very apparent that Ronnie wasn't on top form, and it was very apparent that even though Ryan Day was making mistakes, he was still just a hair's breadth from potentially being at his best and, winning frames in one visit and racking up centuries, like we know he can. But I think those two factors of Ronnie not being at his best and Ryan Day knowing that he was so close to being at his best and being able to capitalise on Ronnie's mistakes contributed to the errors from both of them. So yeah, it was closer than I expected, which was a very welcome surprise, because I never want anyone to just dominate. Obviously I wasn't complaining if Ronnie dominated as a fan, because watching him at his best is one of the joys of all sport. But I'd enjoy watching him dominate if I knew that the other player was on top form as well and just, maybe wasn't getting chances. I don't want him to, humiliate someone, and that very much didn't happen this match. Ryan really, stood firm and played well, and could have led for many moments in that match. Maybe in a parallel universe, we'd have had a different result, because both of them were making many errors, so it could have gone either way at many points. Obviously, I'm delighted with the result, and it's very impressive that Ronnie has still only dropped 7 frames. I know he's only played 2 matches, which isn't a lot compared to a lot of the other players, but, he's through to the quarters, having only dropped 7 frames in these marathons of endurance matches that can play a big part towards the latter end of the tournament. And honestly, I'm not even worried that he's not, his first match was dominant, but he wasn't anywhere near his best. I think he was probably playing his C or B game at max, and this match he was even lower than that, but he still got the job done very convincingly and very comfortably. Not comfortably, as I was saying, but, in terms of the scoreline, he's not had to play as much snooker as a lot of his opponents will. So I'm not worried, because usually he can come into these longer form tournaments and play amazingly for the first few rounds and completely wipe the floor with these lower ranked players in the early stages, but he can peak, and then by the semis or the quarters, when we think, okay, he's probably going to win the tournament now, he'll just have an off day and he'll be, out of the tournament in an instant. So I think we've definitely got more to come from Ronnie, which is an incredibly exciting prospect. Even if you're not a Ronnie fan, just a snooker fan, to have that, knowing that that's coming, that he's still got more in the locker and he's still in the tournament to show us that. It's so exciting to see what we have in store for the rest of the tournament. But yeah, credit to Ryan. I didn't have time to speak about the first round match because I was quite behind, so by the time I'd caught up on the first round, the second round was already in progress. So Oh yeah, I wanted to talk to you about this as soon as possible, just so I can get your thoughts about the tournament in general. Yeah, I'd love to know what are your predictions. What have you thought of the tournament so far? All these big hitters going out early, these underdogs coming through. Obviously, the form of Ronnie, who you're supporting, who you'd love to see win. If any surprises you might think come up, might come up in the quarterfinals onwards. But yeah, I'm loving this tournament so far. I've missed the World Championship so much. What a tournament it is. What a venue it is at the Crucible. I just love it. The atmosphere has been incredible. And the snooker's been incredible. Like, it's just been a really enjoyable watch. So yeah, I'd love to know if you agree. What you thought of the tournament so far? What do you think's to come? Other than that, yeah, I've really missed talking just to you in general, to be honest, about, the snooker and darts and just things we love. Yeah, I've missed this, so I hope we get to do it more often. Other than that, I hope you're doing well, enjoying the tournament as much as I am, and I look forward to hopefully speaking to you again very soon. Goodbye.